Anybody check the weight limit on this thing? Fuck. All right. It's an earthquake. Hey, guys. Here we are. Thank you for coming out. Yep, these aren't going to work with the spotlight. Couldn't see shit. All right. Just getting comfortable. Got my keys in my pocket, too. It's kind of uncomfortable. Hold on. All right. Now I'll tell some jokes. Okay. You guys think it's going to be pretty soon that we start... Oh, your phone rang right when I started. You want to fix that real quick? Go ahead. It's fine. So I got to take my keys out of my... No, how long you guys think it's going to be before we start seeing skateboards and Viagra commercials? That's probably coming pretty quick, right? Hot dads. I love them. Love hot dads. Where are all the hot dads at? You guys out just in the neighborhood hanging out with the 12-year-olds on your skateboards, and I'm still looking at you thinking you're going to break a hip. Like, go inside. But I feel like the guys that are skateboarding by my house have health insurance, so I take them lemonade. It's fine. I was like, you want to come inside? I have some pipes that need fixed. You guys ever had somebody pay you back money they owed you in drugs you don't do? You know what those become? During a pandemic? Drugs you do. I heard one guy over here. One guy was like, drugs you do. Sometimes somebody pays you back $300 they owed you 2 years ago during a pandemic with something called MDMA that's purple, but you've never seen it be purple, and you're like, maybe I should test this. Amazon's there for you guys. They are. You can, with your Amazon Prime, next day, order an MDMA testing kit online. Go ahead and bookmark it now. Do it, because some of you guys are like, that's useful. Amazon's like, we'll get you groceries and high. It's fine. And people say Bezos is a bad guy. I'm not on board yet. That's just where it's starting. It's going to be fine. I have more questions. Anybody else quit their... God, I sound like God. That's amazing. Fuck, I've been waiting for this my whole life. Amanda Grace Arnold. Oh, it's fucking amazing. That's the rest of my set. It's just me yelling things into the abyss. It's amazing. People have always told me my voice carries, but shit, that's amazing. All right, focus. I quit my job December 31st, 2019, because 2020 was going to be my year. You guys... Yeah. $45,000 in student loans for a degree I never used. Yeah, they're never getting their fucking money ever. Unless I make enough on like a special and they have to find me, but they're going to have to find me. They're gonna, and I'll be at Susan's house hiding in her basement. I'm not here. No, I did comedy for 10 years, you guys. 10 years, and I worked full time the whole time. I worked for the third largest bank in the world, doing credit card services. That was terrible. It was for the subprime market, though. Some of you guys might have to Google that. Some of you look young. Basically, we gave home loans to people, and we're like, your credit's not that good, so we gave them a credit card that was like $300 with a $79 annual fee and 30% interest, and we're like, but you need this. And I was like, you need this. And then I'm going to sell you credit monitoring. And I made great money, and then I was like, I'm going to quit all this and quit having health insurance. I'm going to do comedy. Oh, I can't do that. So I kept working, and I would travel. I'd go to Pocatello, Idaho, Montana, and I'd drive overnight to go back to work. And I was a vet tech, and I did all kinds of shit to make 10 years of comedy, and then 20. I always want to say last year, but it wasn't last year. It was 2019, because last year broke up with me and was like, it was like 2020 was like, I'm not into this relationship anymore. You stay home and think about it. And I did. I fucking did. So 2019 was great. I got to go to Singapore and do comedy for Singapore Air. Don't recommend it. It's real hot there. It was like living in a fat lady's boobs. It was gross. So wet there. Did get mistaken. I was blonde then, got mistaken for Fat Amy twice. From Pitch Perfect, and I totally played it up and got free drinks. A Red Bull and vodka in Singapore is $25. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm Fat Amy. Yes, I am. Until they were like, karaoke, and I was like, I gotta go. I'm like, do you ever know? Then I got to go and do comedy. I got to do 2 shows on the Bumping Mics tour with Jeff Ross and David Tell. Now, I'm not telling you guys these things to brag at all. I'm not dick swinging or whatever you want to call it, pissing contest, whatever. I'm telling you this because I used to do comedy indoors places. That was awesome. That didn't smell like pizza. That happened. It was awesome. It was great. So I was like, I'm going to quit my job. So December 31st, 2019, I walked in and I was like, fuck you, I'm quitting. And she was like, oh, cool. Maybe you can work on that little comedy skit thing now. And then I called her something unsavory that I can't call. It rhymes with hunt. She dessert comedy skit thing. I was like, I'll never need this job again. I'm never going to need this job ever again. I love that person. If you're not married, sir, you're probably my soulmate. Do you have insurance? No, anyway. So January was great. February was great. March 7th, I went down to San Francisco to celebrate a friend's birthday, and they're like, there's a big cruise ship in the bay, and nobody's leaving the cruise ship because they're sick. And I was like, pussies. And now I know, you hold on a second. I'm not going to crash this plane. I know we're not supposed to call weak things pussies, and it's true. Trevor Noah talks all about it, right? Because apparently they're sturdy and they make people, and I don't know, I've heard they snap right back. Mine's pristine. It's never made a baby. I don't know. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I can sneeze in public. That's all I'm saying. But I think we should call weak things balls, though, because I was raised by all men. Go figure. Because balls are just, so weak. Like, they would flinch if they could. And I hate pretentious people that come up after shows and they're like, well, they actually... I'm like, yeah, I know. I've been in a river. I get it. I'm saying, like... science. I'm saying flinch. Like, I want to jump out of them. Like, I want to... Oh, shit. Fucking told you guys. It's fine. It's gone. That's what he said. I'm not going to get distracted by that. It was funny. It was like a friend I lost in Vietnam. He's like, it's gone. Just leave it. Just go. Save yourself. I feel like I should be able to like front on balls and they're like dink, like bink up. Not like when you knock on a fresh clam and it's like brrr. Like I want like a quick jumping action. I want to be able to see it through your jeans. Anyway, I'd never get invited to parties. I'd just be like dink, dink, dink. Hi everybody. And they're like, will you quit inviting her? It's not fun. I think it is. Do you guys like that I wrote ask me for my Venmo on my cup? I had to be creative. Amanda Grace Arnold, glad you asked. It's on the back. Dude, you give comics a white cup and a Sharpie, and we're either going to put a dick on it or this. That's pretty much it. Okay, so I came back March 9th. 2 days, all my gigs gone. Just like calls, texts, emails, carrier pigeons, howlers, just everything. Just gone. Harry Potter fans right there. You guys were wondering where the dorks are. We're in a straight line right here. They clump us together so we can keep our powers to ourselves. All my gigs were gone in 2 days. It was super sad. It's the closest I'll ever come to knowing what it feels like to be Louis C.K. Because I didn't touch anybody either. I know. There's a certain group of people that we labeled with a word that starts with an M. Millennials that are like, you shouldn't agree with him. I don't agree with him. But I do think sometimes whoever you pray to, science, Jesus, I don't know if people pray to him, Allah, QAnon, fucking whatever. I think they give you a layup sometimes. They're like, here, catch this. And then you're like, I'm scared. So for those of you that don't know, you guys are so quiet and I love it. This is everything that I want out of this joke right now. Stay with me. So if you don't know what happened, Louis C.K. talked about masturbation on every single comedy special. You're like, how do you know that, Amanda? I checked. I did. I haven't been working. What else am I going to do? I watched every special at least once. He talks. It's like feet in Quentin Tarantino movies. Like, it's there. You just got to watch for it, right? And then he was working with two women who had been doing comedy long enough to know. And when I say long enough to know, once you go on the road doing comedy as a woman, and I think of myself as a comic, not a female comic and all that bullshit, but once you go on the road, you're still alone on the road with dudes. And you know, if a headliner asks you to go to his room, he wants to either do your drugs or you. And if you want to do either of those things, go to his room. You're not going to work long, but go to his room. Go do it. Get it. But if you don't want to do it, don't go. Because these girls went to his room and he said, hey, do you care if I... He probably didn't say jerk off. He was like pretentious. He was like, do you care if I masturbate in front of you? And they were like, we're scared. I pray for this to happen like I pray for drunk TriMet drivers to hit me. I do. You want to know why? Because we are breaking news. I would have been like, yeah, Louis, let's do this. And all the hairs on my arms and back, oh, it's going to happen. And it would have been awkward at first, like the first time you like have a threesome and you think it's going to be awesome. And then you're like, is it my turn? Is it my turn? Or this is like double dutch. I don't know. When I'll just stand here until somebody says my name. Is this what we're fast forwarding? Anyway, I would have been like, go, Louis, just go. Just start. I don't know how this starts. You asked. Go. It's recording. Go. No, I'm not going to share it with anybody. Just get it. Go. I'm going to put the phone. Okay, there it goes. And that would have been like 6 just gross minutes. Just sweaty, chin trees. You know when people snore and they do that thing? There would have been some of those where you're like, oh, he's not done. And then you would have known he was done because that's when he cried. And you get that on tape too. Don't miss that shit. That's the good part. And then I would have put my phone away and been like, you know what, Louis, you really headlined that part of the night. No, I'm going to headline for the next 52 shows. I'm going to need 75% of the door and 30% of your merch, and I need a contract in 18 hours, or this goes on Facebook. Now, I know cancel culture, I get it. Let's get rid of them. No, I say we don't. I say we keep them working, and then we take all their fucking money. Why do I want him canceled? He's not going to be making money anymore. I want to just be a subtle alimony check in the background, just waiting. Go out there, make another special. You know why? Because I'm not a super huge. I'm not going to get up here and talk about my diva cup or my period or whatever. I'm not that kind of comic. I'm not a huge I want good for women, but I'm like not a super feministy comic. I don't know. It sounds fucking horrible. I know. What I'm saying is I don't ever want you to call me mommy, but I'll consider calling you daddy. That's like where I'm at in my life. Don't call me mommy. Gross. Ugh. What do you want me to do? Suckle? You know, gross. I'm just saying, if you have a penis, you have been killing it since the start. You guys have had a really good run. So maybe it's our turn. That's all I'm just saying. Like, let's strap up and strap in and get some money. Let's get paid. All right, that's the end of that public service announcement part of my set. It doesn't have a tag on the end yet, but it will. Cocaine's back, unlike Louis C.K. It's back. Everybody's doing cocaine. I don't do cocaine because I have poor friends. I'm allergic to aspirin and all NSAIDs, like any sort of thing they cut cocaine with. So when cocaine comes out, I have to play this game of what tax bracket do I think you're in, and it's never high enough, for me to die. I mean, I know what I look. I know I look like I bring all the good snacks to soccer practice, but that's what I've turned into. I've done all the drugs. I already did them. I already did all the drugs. I don't do drugs anymore. I started early. Like one time when I was 19, I smoked crack on accident because I thought it was methamphetamines. It was the 90s. See, you bring out the methamphetamines word, everybody clenches up. It was the 90s. We didn't know. I was a fat kid. It was the best diet ever. My house was spotless for the first 2 days. Try beating me at rummy now. I've played it to 1,000,000. There's no way. There's no way you're going to win. I can make pipes out of any one of these light bulbs, you guys. It's weird skills that never leave you. But I don't do drugs anymore. I have 2 comedians that sit on. We're killing it, me and you, buddy. I know it's all this credit. Just don't look at him. Just look at me. Just act like it didn't happen. Like many things in my childhood. So I have two comedians that live on my shoulder. I have one that's like, hey, we should probably start planning a comedy special. And this one's like, do the drugs. And so I don't do drugs anymore. I did have a kid shoulder tap me in front of a pot dispensary, though. Like, ding, 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 hey, if I give you $20, will you go in and buy me $20 worth of weed, bring it out, and then I'll give you $20 for your time. And I was like, he's tall kid. I was like, well, first of all, just give me the $40. I'm not a flight risk. We know this. And second of all, how old are you? And he's like 16. And I was like, and you don't know where to buy weed. You're 16. Do you know what I was doing when I was 16? I was going to the pedophile's house myself. I was paging him. Some of you might have to Google that. I was paging him to call my parents' phone back. He was like Comcast. It was like 12 to 24 hours. He'd call back and he'd be like, yeah, I'm in. Come alone. And you're like, I'm 16. This seems fine. And you'd go to his house and he never wore a shirt and had a Rush tattoo. He'd always just gotten back from something called Fish, and I thought it was a religious thing. I was like, he's a religious guy. He loves Jesus and weed. You got to give him a piece of weed out of the bag he just sold you, even though you know right before you got there he took a piece of weed out of the bag he just sold you. You've been driving and smoking pot for 6 months, and you have to take a bong hit at noon with him in his house while looking at a console TV. Google it. It's a wooden TV that had his senior picture with some dust on it. Watch about 15 minutes of Jenny Jones and bail. That's what we did. That's what we did. And now you think you can just tap me on the shoulder? No. All I'm saying is something that we didn't realize about legalizing pot. It has made our youth weak, is what it's done. They have no problem-solving skills at all. Okay, I just got the 5-minute light, so I want to tell you guys a really quick story, and then I'll go. So I fell in the bathtub a couple years ago. I'm still talking about it. You want to know why? Because people die that way. That's why. And what a piece of shit way to die. Really? In the bathtub? That's how you're going to go out? Like somebody has you to term and then either keeps you or gives you to somebody that did okay with you, got you some vaccines and some teeth and stuff. You know, you're in a house, like you're taking a shower in a house, and then you fall and slip and hit your head and die because you're like, I couldn't do it. No. And then people your parents have to be like, oh, my kid died. Oh, how old were they? 40? Oh. They didn't know how to shower. Yeah, no. I don't care how hot you are. You're not hot, all just wet in a fill. You're in a bathtub, crumpled up. Somebody's got to come scoop you up and get rid of you. No, it's not the way to go. I was in the shower. I was living in a house with 5 comedians and a magician. That is the most honest thing I'll ever tell you on stage. They were all men. I was in a shower that had many tenants, and it had the glass door with the rail of funk and death, you know? Just no getting that clean. There's no getting, you can't get under it. That's like, if that's a rental, that's decades of rental pubes. It's just gross. Like, there's no way. So I would high step over it. I just like for me, high stepping. I have a 25-inch inseam. That is true. Just like 2 rulers, just getting over it. Short people try harder, okay? So I'm in the shower and I'm doing all the shower stuff and I'm listening to Maroon 5 and you can make fun of me all you want. Songs About Jane was a great album. It was like, thank you. It was like Jamiroquai light for white people. It was a little jazzy, but we could still. My friend, who is a person of color, informed me the other day that white people don't dance to the beat, they dance to the words, and it was too real for me. I was like, it's so true. It's fucking so true. To the window. Anyway, so when we lean over. All right, anyway, so I'm in the shower, and then I get out to change the song. If you're wondering, it was Sunday morning, because that's what I almost died to. And then I go to step in the bathtub, and I just fall like I don't have arms. Boom, down, just down, boom, down. So fast. It must be like what it's like to get hit by a bus or shot, because it was so fast, and it hurt so bad. And it was loud noises, and but my head hit the bathtub. Dink! And I live in an older crowd. They're like, this got real. Yeah. And my first thought was like, oh shit, it's made of metal. I didn't know they made bathtubs out of metal. I thought it was Formica. I don't know what I thought it was, but I didn't think it was metal. And you audience members were like, how did you know it was metal, Amanda? It was the very specific sound it made when my head hit the bathtub. It made this twang noise. And then my next thought was like, oh my God, this sounded just like a dodgeball. Now, people in your 20s, you don't know what dodgeballs sound like, and that's why you're weak, but we had dodgeballs that were hard rubber and ribbed for nobody's pleasure, just like brrrr. And when you hit somebody with it, it made the most satisfying twang noise. You're like, that's right, that's why I get picked third, even though I'm a girl. And then, but if come on, like I didn't play softball, fucking look at me. Or if you got hit in the face, you go home and have ribs in your face, and your mom's like, you playing softball or dodgeball? And you're like, yeah, I'm just trying to build up self-esteem so I don't get offended at comedy shows as an adult. But, so my next thought wasn't even a thought, it was an emotion. I thought about when you're a kid, when you get hurt, what do? You cry. But as an adult, what do? You get mad. You get so mad. And somewhere it changes from to rage. Like, it's like when you live with somebody and they leave the cupboard door open and you come home and you're like, what's down here that I need? And then you stand up and you hit your head on the corner of that cabinet door. And nobody's there, you're alone, but something has to get hurt other than you. So you fucking slam that door 72 times like a payphone in the 80s. And they come out and they're like, dude, you okay? And you're like, no, I'm not. I'm fighting off homicide and rage right now. You should go. That's what I was doing, just laying there trying to squeeze. Because your finger hurts, you can squeeze, but when your body hurts, you just gotta lay there. The water's running on me. One of the comics comes and he knocks on the door. He's like, dude, I heard that in my room. Are you okay? I was like, I am fine. And he said, cool, because that looked amazing on the cameras. Haha, joke's on him. He died a year later. Don't get sad. He was a comic. We have a bunch of them. But he did die too quick to take down cameras. Like, I don't think he would have been on top of it. So for the next 6 months, I just tried to find my good angles. Like, just be like, put my Venmo, which is Amanda Grace Arnold, up in grease pin on the wall. Turns out I'm a 10 in Dubai. I'm Amanda Arnold. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night. Real quick, big shout out to Susan for this. This is the last show of the festival. This is amazing. And big shout out for you guys for coming out and supporting.